You know what? I'm just gonna hold it. Hey everybody out there, welcome to the first ever episode of Dr. Truth's vlog. This is a first for us, so for my longtime followers, thank you for sticking around and checking this out for me. For new people coming along to see what this is about, welcome. We're gonna dig into a lot of stuff right now. This is something that, I'm trying out new because the things that I'm starting to get onto, it's hard to explain typing, so I wanted to explain them to you guys over video. So, what's going on, you ask? What are we getting here? We're gonna get to the truth. There's a reason I'm Dr. Truth. So, what is that truth? What is it that, this truth that I've found here? So, turns out there are a lot of towns in the world named Athens. Most of them are right here in the US, but there's a lot of towns in Athens, and in every single one of them, strange things have been happening. What kind of things, you ask? Well, things like population booms. Like, for example, in Athens, Missouri, 555 babies were all born on the same night. What?
Hey, Charlie, we were thinking about going and seeing a movie.
Ray, I'm in the middle of recording, and it's Dr. Truth.
Oh, okay, Doc. Whatever.
Roommates. Anyways, where was I? More religion. Okay, so temples have been popping up in some of these towns in strange numbers, in small population towns. So like 3 new temples and 3 new temples and 3 new temples all on the 3rd day of the 3rd month. Weird. Animal things happening, like ravens took over an entire city block in the city of Athens, Georgia. Monster things and strange animal stuff. So like people disappearing, increases in missing person cases. The Hydra and the Kraken attacked Athens, Greece in the same month. The Kraken's not even Greek. It's from Norway. So, as you can see, a lot of weird things going on. But that brings me right here to Weird Central, Athens, Ohio. What weird stuff is happening in Athens, Ohio, you ask? Nothing. There hasn't been anything weird here. There's been less weird here than your average random town in America. And the news has been drier than Death Valley. It's all school bake sales and sports. Nothing interesting has been going on here. When fate ignores a place like this, that means something big has got to be going down. Don't worry, Truth team, we're gonna get onto this. So, I've been looking, that's just geometry notes, at the news. So things that are going on right this week, obviously it's orientation week over at the college. Police investigate noises at an abandoned house. And, the Hong Kong Cinema Group coming to Athens campus. I think that bears some checking out. I'll check in with you guys again when this is done. And just remember, Athens is weird.
I can hear you.
What?
He's fixing his sound, even though I can hear him on here, but who knows what's happening. Well, now it's back to the video. Travis, what are you doing?
Breaking everything. Is that better? Can you hear me now? Sorry about that. Something broke apparently in one bookshelf, and it took things out across multiple profiles and all of my settings, because last night on my own channel as Ian can attest, my mic wasn't working either, and that's a completely different OBS profile. But now I've fixed it, and theoretically you can all hear me. Sorry about that. Welcome to Aberrant Collateral Damage 2 Electric Boogaloo. No, it's Collateral Damage 2 More Damage. And we are going to dive back into the world of collateral damage. We're going to pick up with what's been going on with Liminal and Ghost. And
best friend time. We're having best friend time.
Yeah, we're going to get into a little bit of drama as to what has happened in recent memory. Now, last time we all met, there had been some gunfire. Connor Connors had been the unwilling recipient of a lead donation. And you unfortunately had to go dig around inside of his body to pull out this bullet that seemed to have been designed specifically for damaging novas. You rushed him off to a hospital in Japan.
I forgot we went to Japan.
In an attempt to prevent any assassin from making any sort of further attempts on his life. And while he was in recovery there, you received an ominous visit from Anna DeVries personally that contained a bit of a warning and a bit of a vague sort of, you don't know who you're working for type of warning. And that was where we left off. Since that time, we're going to say it's been about a month since that incident. In that time, Connor has managed to basically heal up from the wound, though it seems to both of you that his recovery seemed pretty slow. Now, for a Nova. Now, having said that, you know that the bullet was theoretically designed specifically to cause Nova's damage, but still, you would expect him to be fully healed in about a week and a half, and it took just about the last 30 days. He's just now kind of getting back to normal. Not wearing a sling around the office, that sort of thing. And in that time, the press sort of madness going on around your company has only swelled. The profile is increasing, more employees are being hired, more contracts are being brought in and fulfilled. And yesterday, you were both informed that Mr. Connors has a special assignment he would like you to join him on.
Ooh, special.
There's a recruitment appearance he needs to make in Las Vegas, a meeting he needs to go to discuss possible personnel recruitment. And he has asked that the two of you accompany him on that meeting. Specifically, he notes that he wants Liminal, you to join him, but the client has specifically requested Ghost's presence.
Ghost is gonna love Las Vegas. So many people to talk to.
I have so many questions about this.
Sure.
Like what?
What are your questions?
I don't get requested.
Generally, no. I thought that was a little weird too.
Yeah, that's not a thing. Why is that suddenly a thing now? Oh, did I get on one of those cryptid websites? The unknown member of
the prospective client said that he noted your presence in some of the coverage we've been receiving and noted the, I guess, lack of attention that the media was giving you, and it was something that he felt was a grand injustice and felt fairly passionate about discussing with you.
Oh, he's like me. He wants you to have more friends.
No, he's one of those conspiracy theorists who's like got the strings between the pins and all the photos of the same person keeps showing up every time the team saves the day.
No,
Who
he sounds
is
so
it?
nice. He's like when remember when you were my date for the award thing?
Yeah,
That was really fun, and we got to be on TV together.
yeah.
We can do it again. We could go to his show.
All right.
I'm certain there will be plenty of opportunities to pursue recreation while we're there.
Yay!
Yeah.
He's doing a Vegas residency right now. I'm gonna look it up.
Sure. Even though that would be 10-year-old information at this point. But
I'm looking it up in game, Travis. My phone was a prop.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm on cold medicine. That's fair. You look it up. There's a couple of Nova singers have residencies in Vegas right now.
Ooh, nope.
Yeah, interesting, fun stuff. Lots of opportunities for shows. There's never a dull moment out there, so you could book pretty much whatever you wanted to.
Is there like a Nova Cirque du Soleil in this universe? Because I think there should be.
Absolutely, yes. In fact, it's Cirque du Soleil. They've pretty much gone to an entirely Nova cast at this point, as has Blue Man Group, which is
And probably every stage magician.
now
Like, stage
comprised.
magicians are just out of work now.
Right, completely. They're all assistants now to actual Nova magicians. But that's okay because Penn and Teller erupted, so they both are just still doing their jazz. But yeah, you can any type of entertainment you wish to pursue, you're welcome to do so. Connor tells you we have a meeting. We're supposed to meet with him at midnight on the floor of the MGM Grand Casino
Cool.
tomorrow.
For a guy who gets shot at, isn't that kind of a wide open place to hold a meeting?
I don't get shot at. It's not like a hobby.
It's differ.
One time does
I've
not
got
make a
brutally
trend.
shot at.
That's that's a single data point.
You've been shot at more than either of us, so
It's still
you're
a trend,
100%
though.
more
Like, it's
likely.
the start of a trend.
You're infinity more likely to get shot at than either of us.
Well, maybe because I've been shot at before, I'm less
100%
likely.
We're likely to be shot at than us.
Getting shot at isn't like the chicken pox, Connor. It's not like you got shot and now you never get shot again.
We will be in a crowded place full of people that I can hide behind in the event that there's gunfire. So I'm not that worried. I'm sure we'll be fine. They have
I like
security
how you
there.
just admitted you were going to use like baseline humans as meat shields in the event that somebody shoots at you in the casino.
You're serious superhero material, con man.
Listen, I am not a field agent. I handle the money and PR and recruitment.
It doesn't make it less morally objectionable, but okay.
Listen,
Any kind of person as a meat shield's really good for PR.
okay, that's fair. I'll wear a vest. How about that?
That's probably a good idea, in case you get shot. Like before.
I'm not gonna. One time. You get
Also,
shot one.
Enterprise isn't here, so we can't take you back to Japan.
No, that's true. He's on an important mission for us at the moment. So,
Better be getting me my Cinnabon he still owes me.
He does
It's-
in Cinnabon.
it's not important. The details aren't important. It's far away. That's all you need to know. But yeah, so we're gonna hop. I actually have a teleporter that I've been paying for to cover his absence.
Cool.
So we'll have
Wait,
to
like
teleport.
teleporter like a person or teleporter like a machine?
Teleporter like a person. I don't trust machines to move my atoms around. That's a little much. I mean, there are certain things I'm a little bit old-fashioned about.
He's had his atoms rearranged by inanimate objects lately. Like,
I was gonna say, do you remember when a bullet rearranged your atoms?
I swear,
Really
you only.
was bad.
It was a flesh wound. I'm fine.
Did anybody ever tell you that I went inside of you to light up? Because that was weird.
No, but
weird.
and I wish they had. I wish you hadn't, because that is weird.
It made me very uncomfortable. I didn't like it.
Well, now I'm uncomfortable.
I just watched.
We could all be uncomfortable together, because that's pretty gross. We have policies about using that sort of language in this company, young lady.
I don't know how else to describe what happened. They wouldn't have been able to see the bullet otherwise. I helped save your life.
Hey, I'm not. I'm just here to let you know for future reference. Would you like to go with me to Vegas for this job?
No, but I'm going anyway.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Excellent. I will have us teleported tomorrow morning. Be here at 9 a.m. Packed, ready to go. Be ready to stay for a couple of days. This the person of interest in this meeting is probably, they're a little sketchy, and they go off on tangents, so we might wind up being stuck out there for a little bit.
Do you want company clothes or street clothes?
Dress comfortably. We're going to be at a casino. We're going to be with a high roller. So maybe if you have something fancy, a couple fancy evening wear outfits. If you don't, I guess take the corporate card and try not to do anything that's going to make accounting lose their shit too badly.
Okay.
You have fun with that.
All right, great. See you tomorrow. He starts it off.
I'm gonna go buy a long sleeve dress that will cover my U-fiber suit because I don't want to be in a position where I have to phase and be naked.
That's a good plan.
Ghost is going to go put a "Pardon Our Dust" under construction renovation sign on her apartment door so they don't forget that they're renting it out into Victor again.
Are you gonna put one on your broom closet too?
Actually, and now the janitor closet sign works for that, but her actual apartment, anytime she's gone for an extended time, she's got to put up a under renovation sign so they don't forget they're renting it to somebody.
Nice.
I love it.
Nice.
I love it. Excellent. Any other shopping, travel preparation, anything like that you'd like to do before the trip?
Nah.
I mean, I'm sure we'll both pack. I'll pack clothes. I'll pack street clothes, regular clothes.
Regular old
Doesn't
stuff. Yeah. Next morning you show up. Connor's there. He's got one rather large suitcase full of clothing, and he's dressed in like a custom cut tuxedo, like throwing like 007 vibes in his outfit.
Why is your suitcase so big? I thought you were going for a couple days.
I brought enough clothes for a couple days.
Looks like enough clothes for a couple weeks. It's a big suitcase. I like a little carry-on.
It's hot. I like to shower when it's hot. So then I change.
I'm gonna quit trying to get to know him.
It's a desert.
Like,
Ghost is carrying a duffel bag and wearing a baggy gray jumpsuit, so
Okay.
the usual.
Excellent.
you must have real trouble getting clerks to help you in stores.
Excuse me. Well, then she gets their attention and they help her, and then they turn away and forget that they helped her.
You could probably have a really lucrative career as a thief.
Yeah.
I don't know that we should encourage that kind of behavior. You step into the room. The Nova that you've hired as a teleporter is like playing a video game, and Connor like, excuse me, we have Vegas. And the teleporter's like, yeah, and snaps his fingers, and you feel your atoms pulled away from your body and reduced to like a single string. So you sort of feel yourself slowly get unfurled. Like imagine a knitted sweater getting pulled apart by one string. And
I immediately get the Weezer song Undone stuck in my head.
that's a good code name for this teleporter. And you reassemble, standing in the floor of the Hooters Hotel and Casino, standing in the lobby.
But why? This is not where we're going.
It says the rooms here are like a third of what they cost at the MGM.
But it's gross.
For a guy who wears a lot of three-piece suits, you sure are words. For a guy who wears a lot of three-piece suits, you sure are a cheapskate.
That's how I afford the suits. Do you want to stay somewhere else?
No.
It doesn't matter, I guess.
Awesome. He walks up and says, checks in, says, I need you to send 3 plates of wings up to our rooms, please. Big plates of wings. I'm hungry. Let's go. Takes you over to the elevator. You step inside, head up to your rooms. They're decent hotel rooms if you were anywhere but Las Vegas. They're like an all right size. The view's nice if you open the windows, though you can't actually open the windows. But looking out the windows, it's a fairly nice view. But the room is literally like a bed, a TV, a couch, nothing to write home about. Small fridge. You each have your own room. You have about 12 hours, you have about 16 hours to kill before your meeting. What would you like to do with your day in Vegas?
We should go explore. Ghost. I'm like knocking on your door already. Let's go look around. I've never been here before. I want to go look. Let's go
Why
look.
are you like this? Why is this the way that you are?
Because it's fun. Because we're in Vegas. It's new. It's exciting. It's bright. There's gonna be lights later. Right now, there's a lot of sun, but later there's gonna be lights, and there's like an amusement park thing, and there's shows, and there's restaurants, and I really, really hate wings, so I don't want to stay here. Like I want to leave and go somewhere else, and I want you to go with me, my buddy.
You get 2 hours of my time, and then
What are you gonna do for the other 14 hours?
I'm pretty sure I already said I'm taking a nap.
A 14-hour nap is a coma.
2 hours. Clock's ticking. Are we going?
Okay, let's go.
Oh.
You step out onto the Vegas Strip. Despite the fact that it's fairly early in the morning, it's like 7:30 a.m. there. It's bustling with activity. People pretty much shoulder to shoulder throughout the Strip. You immediately clock a number of people that are dressed like prominent Novas, wearing mock-ups of their costumes, and you see a dumpster fire cosplayer that's getting a bunch of tips and whatnot, and
He's got a picture to give the dumpster fire.
He's got like a mouth that he's built that's on his stomach that like just moves like this. It's kind of horrifying, but in a cute way.
Actually impressed.
Does he like take pictures where people like put their arm inside and they're like,
right, yeah, like they lean in with their head and whatnot. Yeah,
like the Jaws thing at Universal already like puts their head inside.
Exactly. Yes.
I'm gonna do that and make Ghost take like 14 pictures.
Beautiful. I love it. Yeah, you get a number of photos with the dumpster fire cosplayer. There's a few other. There's a Cestus Pax cosplayer, a Divismal cosplayer, and they're all just posing for photos and whatnot.
Does the Divismal cosplayer have arms?
He does have arms, yes, as a matter of fact.
Good. I wanted to be sure.
I know there's some controversy about that, but yes, he does in fact have some arms.
Yeah.
And as you're walking along, you realize you're walking on not so much sidewalk, but just a layer of discarded, like, strip bar flyers and casino flyers and just various things that people hand. Hey, come check out this, and immediately get dropped on the ground. The litter is intense, insane. There's a layer of it probably, quarter-inch thick on the entire sidewalk.
This is super gross. Why is this town so dirty?
It's a little concerning. And as you're walking along, you start to take in the sights a bit, and with the rise of Addis Ababa as being kind of a cultural center since the restoration of that region of Ethiopia by Project Utopia, some of the touristy trap destinations in other parts of the world have fallen into a bit of disrepair. And you can sort of see as you're walking around and taking in the sights, just the very beginnings of this decay throughout Vegas. A couple of the buildings looking not so much run down, but just maybe not quite as attended to as they would be normally. Just the beginnings of, like I said, a little bit of wear, a little bit of decay. But most of the people who are there don't seem to have noticed. And you're on the strip for probably about 15 minutes, walking around trying to figure out kind of what your next destination is before you're recognized. A couple of people come over and go, "How much for a photo?"
I don't charge for photos. We're just here. We're just here hanging out.
"Oh, I thought you were a cosplayer."
No, yeah. Hi, my name is Liminal. That's me.
"Oh my goodness. Can we get a picture?" And they like just
Yeah, of course.
cram in on you and start snapping photos. And then you see a couple more people kind of look over and, "Oh, holy cow, can we get a picture?" And start crowding you a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Ghost, get in here. Come on. Get in pictures.
Why?
Because you're pretty and you're part of the team and I love you.
And just as soon as they wrap up, more people come up. And you start to really get like this wave of being swamped. People start... you can't really take more than a step or two without somebody walking up and asking you for a photo.
You did this to yourself.
I didn't do this. People recognize me. I glow.
Introduced yourself.
I didn't want to lie. Why would I lie?
To not deal with this.
I didn't know.
Lying makes things a lot easier sometimes.
Somebody like nudges past you, Ghost, with their elbow, like, "Excuse me, I need to... can I get a picture with you, please?" It's a liminal.
Okay. This has been super fun, but we have to go, and this needs to stop. I'm so sorry. And I can roll for that if you need me to. Because that's mega manip happening.
I do, in fact, need you to make a roll. And what's the mega manip you're using? Just the straight normal mega manipulation, or are you using any specific trick with it?
No, I usually just do my leadership stuff with that.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make that leadership check. But you have a there's a complication.
Okay.
A +2 complication because
Because this is something weird happening?
of something unusual happening, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm using persuasion, sweet talking, because I'm being very nice, plus manipulation.
For sure.
Which does give me a pool of 9 dice.
Nice.
They could roll properly. Five. So I bought off the complication.
Excellent. Yeah, they, "Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me," and they start, politely excusing themselves and backing away. Could both of you go ahead and just give me, let me just check and see what would be the most relevant skill here. Like a empathy or a... Sorry, I had my book open to the wrong page.
That happens. I'm assuming that we're trying to figure out why they're acting weird or to notice that they're acting weird.
Yeah, give me empathy or an enigmas. And what would be your approach for that?
I'm gonna do it with cunning because I'm trying to figure something out.
Sure, that works. How about you, Ghost?
Same.
Okay. Excellent.
That was a terrible roll. 1 success.
Okay.
Roll 6 dice and get 1 success. I get sad.
Well, that's fair though. It's enough that you do clock that this is above and beyond the norm for starstruck behavior.
Yeah, because I mean, seeing celebrities in Vegas or like in LA and stuff isn't that weird.
Right.
And a lot of these people are here to gamble, not to look at me. You know.
Right, and it just there's enough. You definitely notice there's something off. But with 4 successes, Ghost, you notice a shift in these people in the immediate vicinity that seems unnatural, almost as if snapping out of a trance when Liminal sort of asks for her space. And at 4 successes, you also notice a woman, probably 50, 75 feet back among the crowds, kind of just quickly shift and turn away at that moment. Just almost like, not right that second, but like there's like a pregnant pause as she's watching and observing what's happening, and then she kind of scoots away.
Ghost turns and starts heading after her.
Excellent. The
I
people
start following Ghost.
the crowd just kind of parts for you inadvertently. So it's quite a thing to watch as Ghost tries to navigate through the crowded street of Vegas, as like somebody bends over to pick up a piece of trash, and they're like, oh, a dinner coupon. They pick that up, and another person goes to tie their shoe, and like a bike messenger rides out in front of a car that it slams on its brakes just in time for Ghost to walk in between them. So there's just this bizarre sequence of events that gives Ghost pretty much a straight line to this
Is that
observer.
a normal thing for me? Is that like how people will work around me without acknowledging me, or is this unusual?
This is, at this degree, it seems a little bit unusual, but this is not something you haven't experienced before. You're assuming that it's probably due to the size of the crowd, but like if you go to a concert, for example, one positive side effect is you can get, if you need to go to the bathroom, you can get into the bathroom pretty much right away. If you need to go order a drink, you can get up to the bar right away, but getting the barkeep's attention becomes a problem.
That's never such a good team, is because you can do that, and then I can just be like, hello, hi there, can you please get us drinks? And they're like, must serve that person.
So Ghost is cutting through the crowd, moving at a pretty quick clip, because she's like, she kind of knows things are going to part ways for her.
Okay.
But as she's following, she kind of calls back to Liminal and it's like, we've got a manipulator.
Ooh, another one.
All right.
Maybe we can be friends.
Getting across the street's not terribly difficult, and there's not a whole lot of alleys to duck down in Vegas, so she pretty much, and she's not having the same effect on the crowd that you are. So catching up to her is really not much of a problem. It takes you, probably about a minute to get right up to her. So are you gonna just beeline right up and approach her directly, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Ghost take the lead.
All right.
I'm gonna stand there and be back up.
Okay. How would you like to get her attention?
Try to reach out and grab her arm.
Excellent. That would be a close combat check. What's your approach there?
I'm trying to kind of keep things calm. I don't want to I want to catch her arm, but I don't want to come off super aggressive. Can I be composed about that?
Sure, absolutely.
Alrighty.
That actually makes good sense. That's why I love it. I mean, like, total aside, that's why I love this system. Is
Yeah.
because your approach does matter, and you can like really change how you use certain skills.
I was super
Absolutely.
freaking intimidated to start learning the system, and it's ridiculously fun. Okay, 7 or above is a success, correct?
Yes.
I have 1. wait. No, sorry, that's a 9. I have 2.
Beautiful. Okay. You grab her by the arm, and she sort of spins back to face you. And if you could both give me a culture check, if you don't mind. This is to see if there's some recognition. So,
Maybe like a culture intellect or culture cunning, or
yeah, it'd be a culture and a mental, but just based on, I guess, kind of your. It would probably be either cunning or intellect. I would have a hard time buying a resolve case for it.
Except you get any successes, and I rolled a 1.
1.
Oh god.
So you got a 1 and no successes?
Yep.
All right. Congratulations on your point of momentum that you gained.
Thanks.
And you misidentify her. You believe her to be this Nova by the name of Swarm Queen, who has a number of powers regarding insects, not the least of which is the ability to turn into a swarm of insects.
I do want to point out that I have photographic memory.
Okay.
That might alter something, but I don't know. I have photographic memory too. It's one of my edges.
Sure. And let me just see exactly if that will...
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the exact things about it are too.
You said photographic memory, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is that from... that is not from Aberrant, that's just a Trinity core power,
I think
right?
that's a Trinity thing.
Cool.
Which would be cool if I could find in my giant box of...
I gotcha.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds. I just want to see how this affects the interaction. And I appreciate your patience and the patience of our viewers, because I want to make sure that we're presenting the system accurately.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, I mean, I'm sure the viewers understand. I've mostly played games before, like sometimes you have to pause and just look something up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one
Yeah,
of
so I have
our...
2 dots in it, so I remember everything I've experienced. I don't need to roll to recall details from previous scenes.
Okay.
And I received 2 enhancement against attempts to change my memory.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and rule that none of that actually directly applies. You've never met this person.
Okay.
And this is more of a case of confusion than it is...
Memory? Yeah.
Like misremembering.
That makes sense.
Lack of familiarity over memory, if
Okay.
that makes sense. But you do remember, though, that person that you're mistaking her for is a known Terrigen member. Ghost, how many successes did you get?
1.
Excellent. You've seen this face before, but you can't place it. And she
Am I, like,
says,
convinced that she's this person?
you think she looks a lot like her.
Okay.
So you're not, you're not absolutely convinced. You're not certain that it is. You just think that that's, you see that spark of familiarity, and that's who you immediately tie it to. And she turns and says, excuse me?
I don't like attention. What gives?
She smirks a little bit. I wasn't trying to give you any attention.
We're trying to get my friend attention, and unfortunately that overflows on me. I'm going to repeat myself. What gives?
Relax, little sister. I'm not trying to be aggressive.
And I'm not your little sister. Start answering.
Why don't you make an intimidation check?
Okay. So it's intimidation plus anything?
It would be whatever your approach is going to be. Are you relying on, it could be strength if you're, or might, I should say, if you're, flexing.
Not
Could
really.
be-
She's more kind of just sort of staying calm. I could either
Could
go
be resolve.
intimidation or composure, whichever you think.
Composure if you're trying to give that cold, like,
Yep.
Clint Eastwood kind of stare.
Yes, Ghost defaults to.
Well, while she is doing that, can I roll my instant influence to try to shift that person's attitude to be nicer toward us?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because, it says that I don't even have to interact with them. I just have to be in their presence.
2. Excellent.
2.
And you're trying to shift their attitude friendlier?
Yeah, or,
Okay.
more likely to answer us. 5 successes.
Excellent.
That's my best dice roll.
She warms up considerably and smiles and says, "Okay, I guess the cat is out of the bag, as they say. My associate has asked me to gauge your response to attention. I am guilty as charged, Ghost."
Did you tell her your name?
No.
How do you know who we are? Or actually, how do you know who she is?
I'm in town with a friend. He asked me to look in on you.
Is this friend somebody we're going to be running into?
Oh, definitely. I believe you have a dinner engagement with him.
Oh, good. We're being tested. My favorite thing.
Yeah.
No offense was meant, and I'm certain if there was any overstepping of bounds, it was, please allow me to take the responsibility for that.
Yeah, uh-huh. Let's go back to the hotel.
I guess. I haven't been out here that long.
Ugh, fine, you get another hour later.
Yay!
Nap first. I don't like having my atoms rearranged.
I said it tingled.
I feel taller. Am I taller?
You start walking away,
You might be taller.
or are you just standing there having the conversation?
Walking away.
Yeah, we can walk toward the hotel.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a. I'm trying to see what might be just a basic notice a tail check. Or notice if you're being watched in general sort of check. Let's say survival and either intellect or cunning, whichever you prefer.
Okay.
One success.
Okay.
2 again.
Okay. You notice that although she doesn't seem to physically follow you, Ghost, as you're walking along, you notice more and more people that you're passing seem to be noticing you. And yeah, I think with 2, that's probably all you can pick up, is that as you're walking along, more people are kind of noticing your presence. Strikes you as being a little bit out of place. I mean, liminal draws attention, so it's not
I'm glowy.
that
It's hard not to
strange.
draw attention.
But you're also glowy in the middle of the day.
Yeah, but I'm also fuzzy around the
So-
edges. I'm weird looking.
Right, she's got the 70s, Vaseline on the lens vibe going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's
I am in soft focus all the time.
So yeah, it's not like alarming degree. It's not like everybody's head's slowly turning as you're walking by, but you just notice a person or two kind of looking at your direction, and there's a bit of odor that you can't place among the various food odors, body odors, crowded people in a desert odors, there's some other aroma hanging out, but you just can't put your finger on it.
Is it a good aroma or a bad aroma?
It's not negative. It's not off-putting. But it seems to almost be in your nostrils, like if you spend too long around a certain smell and you go into a different environment, that smell is still there with you. You get kind of that sense, that vibe.
I have a feeling your test isn't over.
They rarely are. But I'm not sure there's much we can do until we meet with everybody tonight, you know?
Yeah.
That would be the time for confrontation. We might want to tell Connors, though.
Yeah. So Ghost is going to head for Connors' room.
I'm going to back her up as always, since he's also a manipulator.
Right.
I don't trust him still. He's pretty incompetent.
He is that. That's been established. That is canon.
I'm going to walk up to the door.
Also, he gets shot all the time.
One time. He says, yeah, come in. And you hear like punching and kicking and various like impact noises. And you step in and he's like playing like a fighting game on the TV.
For a guy who got shot, you literally just welcome people into your unlocked hotel room.
I knew it was you.
What do you know about this guy we're meeting?
He pauses his game. You haven't asked a single question about that, you know that?
I'm asking now.
Sure. We're meeting with Count Raul or Zazas.
Count Raul or Zazas?
Yeah.
Is he a vampire? He sounds like a vampire.
Sounds eccentric.
He's one of those things.
He's a vampire. I knew it.
Yes.
No,
Yes, he's a vampire.
if you ever watched anything, he's one of the spokespeople for the Terrigen. As much as they have a spokesperson, anyway. He's Spanish old money. Kind of, I guess, for lack of a better word, PR guy for the Terrigen.
Why are we meeting with him?
He reached out to us.
What did he say?
He said there was a contract he wanted to discuss the possibility of us taking on, and that he had a interest specifically in speaking with Ghost.
He just had us trailed by somebody. Did you okay that?
No. Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure. I just thought I'd come question you about it because I had a feeling.
You're very inquisitive. Both of you are. It's part of what I like about you.
Don't try to turn this around with compliments.
Don't try to pretend you like me.
He says, no, I did not know that they were going to have you tailed. Okay, first of all, how do you know that you were tailed? Secondly, how do you know that it was Count Orzaz's that had you tailed? And third of all, did they try to hurt you or something?
Well, Liminal almost got mobbed by a crowd, and then whenever I chased down the lady who was responsible for manipulating a large number of people in the middle of a public place, she outright admitted to it, and pretty much all but said, yes, it is the person that we are going to be meeting with. So, there you go.
I mean, she didn't all but say it. She said it.
Yeah.
She said it.
Like, she didn't name Count Raul, what's-his-face, but...
She said, I think you have dinner meeting with him tonight. So she was either talking about him or you.
Please.
Probably the vampire, though.
Please, no matter what happens, do not refer to him as Count Raul What's-His-Face during tonight's meeting.
I make no promises.
Ghost has been called what's her face for so long that it's just not even. It doesn't mean anything to her anymore.
It's a term of endearment, or at least that's what people like to say.
Well, because if somebody remembers what's her face, it means they at least remembered you.
They remember I have a face. That's a pretty easy.
They remember you exist. A lot of people don't remember you exist.
There are some people in the Nova community that no longer have a face, so can we please try to be a little bit sensitive about that? Thank you.
It's true, you do have a face. It's a nice face. I like your face.
Anyway, how long do we have until dinner with Count What's His Face?
About 13 hours.
Do we still smell that thing?
Roll integrity and cunning.
Man, I could have had a better roll last time. Thanks, Yoden.
Oh my god, I had 3 10s in that.
Nice.
I had 3 successes.
3 also.
Excellent. Yes, you do both smell it, and you recognize that smell now that you're not fighting the crowd of odor outside. It smells like poppy seed muffins. Exactly like poppy seed muffins.
I'm not gonna say anything because I feel like someone's gonna think I'm insulting them. Telling them they smell like muffins. Pretend like I don't smell a thing.
Conman, why do you smell like muffins?
You smell it too? He does smell like muffins.
He goes, I don't smell like muffins. It might smell like cheap weed, but I don't smell like muffins.
Have you been smoking cheap weed and playing fighting games while eating a plate of wings from Hooters in our shitty ass hotel?
Your financial.
I feel like there's no right answer to this question. Possibly, yes. But I brought it from Illinois. It's legal.
I smell muffins though. I do. I smell muffins. Muffins are what I smell. I've been smelling them since outside, I think. Were you smelling them outside?
Are you sure that neither one of you is having a stroke?
I don't smell burnt toast, you asshole. I smell poppy seed muffins.
Yes,
Okay.
we're both having the exact same stroke at the exact same time.
I'm just trying to rule out the impossible, because when you rule out the impossible, then nope, that's backwards. This is why I hire other people to be my problem solvers. I'm sorry you smell muffin. I don't smell anything.
You know that thing that people do when they're trying to locate a bad smell, where you just like kind of walk around?
Right.
You know, I feel like we've probably gotten about as much of this conversation as we're going to get, and I'm sorry you smell muffins is a really good note to leave on. So we're going to let you get back to your punchy game.
Oh, also that lady that we saw earlier looked like the Swarm Queen. I don't know if she was, but she looked a lot like her. Did you notice that?
No?
I'm gonna pull a picture on my phone of the Swarm Queen and show it to her. Like, see?
You look at the Swarm Queen, and now that you're looking at her, no, it doesn't look like her at all. Give me an integrity cunning check, please.
Both of us are just liminal.
Just liminal, because she's the one looking at the phone.
I rolled 4 8s really weirdly. So 4 successes. But they're all 8s.
You bring up this photo of the Swarm Queen, and it's a press photo from like a paparazzi shot that was taken at Count Orzaz's estate in Spain. And in the background of the shot, you see the woman for sure that it was. And you start to like 1, 2, oh, this must be why I got them confused, because
I was misremembering this picture.
Yeah, it's definitely her.
So do I recognize her? Is there a caption?
There is a caption. It lists like the left to right order of the people in the picture, and you see her listed as Narcosis.
No. Stupid. Wait. No. Can I look? I'm gonna look her up. What's known about her?
She is someone who, until about 3 years ago, was a baseline. and she very publicly she had like a OpNet vlog about trying to kick off her own eruption, and she
Did it to herself?
basically wound up overdosing on drugs in an attempt to force herself to erupt.
Now she's got the power of drugs.
She's known to be a manipulator, be able to instill the effects of multiple chemicals in people, and known to be able to assign euphoric feelings to herself, to people in the environment. Basically, she can make something seem like she can target something and make it seem like it is the cause of ecstasy.
Wow, and she did it all in a vlog. So now we have her to thank for the fact people think they can get tweaked enough to become superheroes. I already hate her.
It's terrible. Also, I'm assuming the poppy seed muffin thing is supposed to remind us of opium, even though that's not actually what opium smells like. That's just all I can think of now. Her name's Narcosis. We smell poppy seeds. Poppy seeds are known to be made into a drug. Or maybe she just also likes baked goods.
That could be.
If you had named her Wake and Bake, that would have been a really great Could have been drugs and baking.
I love it. No, from now on, she's Wake and Bake. No, she's Narcosis.
All right. Hey, it was this lady. Let me show a picture to them. I show a picture
Oh.
to Connors and Ghost. They haven't quite walked out yet. Look,
Yeah.
that's her. That was the
That's
lady.
the dirtbag.
Oh, yeah, I used to follow her blog. What?
Why?
She's cute and funny.
There are moments when I forget and think that you have passed, and then you remind me that, and
I don't know why you think that.
Because it's the suits.
it's the suits. Definitely the suits.
That's fair.
It's kind of like how people automatically think that anybody with a British accent is classy, even if they're like a dirtbag.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe I should work on my British accent.
Please don't.
I feel like it's going to come out all Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
It probably would, that's fair.
Connors just rolls up like, "Hello, governor."
Hello, Governor Chip Chip.
Nobody comes to that. He's like, "Don't I sound classy now?" We're like, "What? That is Australian? What just happened?"
The governor, I get to call him Count What's His Face.
Alright, that's fair. So I won't do that and you won't do that and we'll be in good shape. Well, she's obviously buddies with this dude, so I mean, did she say why she was tailing you?
He asked her to. Some
Okay.
kind of test. I don't think it was so much tailing to like watch us, but we were totally being watched on the way back. But I think it was more to kind of see how Liminal would react when like mobbed by a crowd of fans.
Yeah, I feel like she was testing my abilities.
Like, we're not that popular. We're not, are we?
Only dumpster fire.
Okay.
Right, I mean,
We saw a cosplayer.
Oh yeah, there's a picture. Look,
Mouth moved.
I wonder,
I put my head in it.
is he still out there? Because I feel like we should get a piece of that.
No.
That's not how this works.
What? Like, we own the image.
Comment
No,
stop.
we don't. Dumpster
You can
dumpster
sell
fire
Halloween
was not
costumes.
created by you.
Well, no,
Halloween costumes. But stop.
Yeah, stop right now. It's like you don't know how cosplay works. I don't like this.
oh, we could sell Halloween costumes.
Yes, that is something we could do.
That's a good idea. I'll get a hold of marketing.
Are you gonna
Sorry.
give Ghost a cut of that? That was
Spider.
her idea.
Sure.
I wanted a writing now.
As long as I remember.
Writing now.
Hold on. He grabs like the notebook and the pen that they leave in all the hotel rooms and says, "You can have a piece of it, Ghost," and then hands you the piece of paper. What do you want me to? Write a contract?
Like takes a photo with her phone and puts photos in.
She says, all right, well, I can try to reach out to the Count's people and level a complaint with them if you'd like, or we can bring it up to him at the meeting tonight. I would just rather not bring it up maybe so, like, angrily, like the way you barged into my room.
We didn't barge.
All full of attitude.
You said come in.
Right. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, I don't want, like, it's really fucking up my Zen, and I don't want to fuck up his Zen, because this is a lot of money. So maybe if we can bring up that we have a concern, but maybe not jump down his throat about it. Can we manage that? Can you smile, Ghost, while you say it? While you say, "Excuse me, why were you following me?" Just like that. No.
Do you know me? Like, usually you're pretty good about remembering, but like, I feel like you forgot something. Like something serious.
What I'm asking you to do is act. Am I what?
Never mind.
Oh, sure. I'm asking you to act, to pretend like maybe you're not upset. To be...
I know what you're asking. I wanted to see how many different ways you'd rephrase it. I'm just shocked that you think that that's a thing that I do.
Be civil?
Yeah.
Well, I understand why you act the way that you do, okay? I understand that that you've had to deal with a certain amount of isolation from intimacy with other people as a result of your abilities. And so that's created this hard candy exterior that we all know and love.
Aw, hard candy. You are kind of like a hard candy.
Well, underneath that, I'm sure as a person who is capable of
just walking toward the door.
Basics of empathy. All right. Good talk.
Later.
Can you please try to make sure she doesn't create an incident with the Count tonight?
This is on his team.
Okay.
I don't know why we should be. I mean, like, I'm trying to be nice to everybody. I want everybody to be happy, but like, that's on their team. That's weird. That's weird to do.
It is weird.
People, it's a weird thing.
Do you want
you,
me,
as our boss and as the person who asked us to go to this meeting and set up this meeting, should be the one to say like, hey, that's not cool.
I can do
Also,
that.
it still smells like frickin' muffins, and it's weird.
I'm sorry that it smells like muffins, and I'm sorry that it's weird.
I don't like having nose muffins. It feels like it's throwing off my whole sensory experience.
Hang on, I have just the thing. He reaches into his bag and pulls out an incense stick.
Is this just incense, or what does this
It's
smell
just
like?
incense, yeah. It smells like, I don't know, jasmine and agony or something. I don't know, jasmine and calm, I think is what it's supposed to smell like.
But agony and calm are very different things now.
It's calming. It's like, I don't know. It's ancient Zen, I think, is the flavor. Ancient Zen. Holds up. It's like a dollar store incense package.
Take it very gingerly and just say, hey, say, I'm nice people. And then I'm gonna go back to my room and I'm gonna like wrap it in toilet paper and put it in the trash can. Like,
Excellent.
I don't trust that.
By the time you make your way back to your rooms, the odor in your nose is basically subsided.
Oh.
Um,
I'm gonna knock on the wall to Ghost's room. Ghost!
Goes and probably like, I am assuming that they have like rooms with like the connected door.
Sure, why not?
Just to make Ghost more upset, she slowly opens the door.
Hi! Did the muffins go away for you? Because they went away from me.
Yes.
I'm just making sure that you're not still suffering from effects of something that seemed to have not affected me anymore. I'm trying to be a good friend. Have a good nap!
Please suffering from muffins. Good night.
Muffering.
By the way, I just want to throw out that the word nose muffins was used. I just in case anybody missed that, nose muffins.
Hashtag nose muffins.
Infinitely superior to wasp nostrils.
yeah, and in every imaginable way, I would say. So you both taking a nap?
Yes.
She's taking a nap. I'm doing like yoga. I'm like reading 3 books. I'm just like doing that teenager on the wall, like the 1950s thing. My feet are up on the like wall, and I'm like reading a book, and I'm just like checking the clock literally every 30 seconds to 5 minutes, just like, I'm so bored. I want my other hour of outside time, and I don't want to go by myself because that weird lady might be there. I don't want to deal with it. I need my ghost. I need my friend. I need my buddy for the buddy system, and I don't like this, but I don't want to bother her because I like her and she's my friend. And so I'm just gonna do some yoga and hang out.
Knock on her door after a little while.
Okay.
Hello. Hi.
1 hour.
Yay! Go back outside. It's like 4 p.m. now.
As you go to open the door, there's a delivery man standing outside, like, with his hand up to, like, knock. Like, oh, excuse me,
Hello.
sorry, hi. He's carrying a large bouquet of flowers, like a oversized, probably 3 or 4 dozen bouquet of flowers, of lilies. He says, I was told to go to room 307B, but the front desk said there was nobody in 307B. So, are you Ghost?
She's Ghost.
Oh, hey, sorry, didn't see you there. These were sent... No, not Siri, sorry. Those were sent from a Count Raoul from a Count.
Keep trying. You almost had it. Keep trying.
No, don't keep trying.
So close.
Just accept your failure and give me the flowers.
You can't see the flowers, and like, I know, but this is the only job I could get. And he starts to walk off.
Oh, okay.
So Ghost is standing there with an armful of lilies going, so this is creepy, right?
Lilies are for funerals.
Like,
There's a card.
she goes to open up the card.
Yeah. It explodes. No, I'm kidding. You open up the card and it says,
The next
"Dear."
3 sessions are going to be about the rest of the team dealing with our untimely deaths.
It says, "Dearest Ghost, please accept these flowers as a token of my regret at the inconvenience my associate caused you today. I greatly look forward to meeting you this evening and humbly beg your forgiveness for the misunderstanding."
Oh, he called you dearest. I'm like reading over her shoulder. I'm like,
Like, I'm not out of place here. Like, this is creepy, right?
I mean, yeah, he doesn't know you. It's very creepy.
Okay.
Could have been a dick pic. Could be worse.
For the record, worst way to apologize. Doesn't not
Also, worst way to flirt. So yeah.
Right, or anything, really. It's really the worst way to communicate anything to another person.
You want some lilies?
What color are the lilies?
They're white.
Yeah, it's a death flower.
But
That's
you
weird.
want them.
No, why would I want them? Good
No,
them to
they're
Connor.
like nurturing and stuff.
They've been cut.
But
Cutting flowers is awful.
They're suffering just a little longer.
I didn't bring a vase. I didn't pack a
Fine.
vase. They're flowers. If they're like poison or something, I don't want them in my room. Give them to Connor's.
So Ghost goes to knock on Conman's door.
Yeah. It's
Can I
open.
come in?
Yeah.
She walks in, walks straight into his bathroom, puts the plug in the sink, pours water in, then sticks the bouquet in.
Okay.
And then sets the card open next to it and turns to walk right back out.
As you're walking back out, he doesn't even look away from his video game. He says, Listen, I know we had a bit of a disagreement earlier, but flowers are really unnecessary and a little weird.
I'm just waiting in the hallway.
Okay.
Did he say anything?
It's just being him.
Oh, so yeah, nothing important. Right, got it. Cool. Let's go shopping. You never took the company card back.
So you go out and there's kind of this this montage of photos and selfies of you just spending up all the company money throughout Vegas, shopping, picking up various.
Playing girls just want to have fun, but every time it gets really, really hyper, it just pans over to Ghostface. She's just standing there like.
Exactly.
He's probably just like got like a different like expensive iced drink from different places. every shot in the montage is Liminal in like a new outfit, and it's just like now it's Starbucks. Now it's
Right. Exactly. It's very much.
Before you go back to the hotel, I do buy you a Cinnabon.
Thank you. Enterprise still owes me though.
That almost.
But you get 2 Cinnabons.
That almost makes up for the suffering that you've endured during this montage sequence of.
There's like several stills of her doing that while I'm trying to hold up like brightly colored dresses to her, and she's just like.
Right. She's got the same sort of just deadpan stare. One of the drinks does have like a colorful little umbrella in it, but the rest of them are all just kind of glasses. Yeah, that face right there, that one. And that
keep taking selfies so I can like have an Instagram like album titled, Ghost and Liminal's Best Day Ever.
Right. And that eats up a little bit of the afternoon.
We only had an hour, so.
Right, that's fair. Any other activities you'd like to engage in before the meeting?
Actually, Ghost, do you want to go check out the hotel where we're having the meeting before we come back later?
Makes sense.
In case there's any weirdness going on?
Oh, there's weirdness. Let's go.
In case there's any more weirdness we don't know about.
Okay.
MGM Grand!
You head over to the MGM Grand. Very different vibe than where you're staying.
Oh, look, they have a dumpster fire slot machine.
They do have a dumpster fire slot machine. There's a number of the main floor when you walk in. The main gambling floor is pretty much every other casino in Vegas. They all kind of look basically the same. It's the same, putrid carpeting, the same glow of slot machines, the same monument to gambling addiction that you find pretty much everywhere. But they're slightly more brightly lit in there, and you can clearly see there seems to be a bit of a buzz of activity upstairs at the high stakes tables in the VIP lounge. You can see that there seem to be a lot of people that have their attention up there, and are some of the staff are kind of falling over themselves to get up there to provide service to whoever's up there.
Maybe you should go check. They won't remember you. I'm all glowy and stuff. I didn't ask to be glowy.
Ghost heads that way.
All right. You managed to make your way upstairs relatively easily. I guess people just kind of get out of your way. When you get up top, you see the lady from before sort of sitting next to this very dapper, extremely well-dressed. Imagine Antonio Banderas with a shaved head and just like a pencil line mustache and goatee. And everyone, all eyes are on him. And he's sitting at a craps table. And he takes the dice and turns to the nearest lady to him that's not Narcosis and says, "For luck." And she blows on the dice, and he turns over to the nearest gentleman to him and says, "You as well, sir." He blows on the dice, and he throws the dice, and you hear a bunch of cheering. I win again.
Down the stairs toward Liminal.
I'm sitting on a couch doing that thing where people try to look covert in movies. So I've got like a magazine in front of my face.
Wow, you are so suspicious right now.
I'm too excited to be here.
Do you want to like hold a sign that says, I am scouting this place?
Do you think that would help?
It would be less suspicious.
You gotta get me a sign. Also, you were scouting. I was just waiting for you.
Yeah, well, anyway, Count What's-His-Face is up there, like, being super charming and being a high roller and all that crap.
Is that suspicious? I don't think that's suspicious, is it? He's a count.
Narcosis is with him. At least they're not playing a game that I think he would win anything at by manipulating people, so they got that going for him.
That's something.
Yeah.
You see a server come down the stairs, like tucking, like folding a roll of bills that like she has to like work to get folded over and shoving it into her pouch, as if like she just got this massive tip.
Okay, no wonder Con Man's meeting with this guy. He is making money.
And he likes you.
Please stop bringing that up.
What if he's nice? You don't know him.
He already sent me a creepy bouquet.
True.
And had somebody tell you.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. No, you're right.
Alright. Is there anything else we need to do before the meeting tonight?
I don't think so. I mean, we've checked out the area. Where are we going to actually have, I guess we're going to have dinner in the restaurant there? There's like 18 restaurants in this place, so I don't know which one it's at.
I think we were meeting on the floor.
Oh, yeah. But then for dinner is what the lady said, so I got confused.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we should go back and get ready.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, montage 2, Electric Boogaloo, as I assume, correct me if I'm wrong, Liminal spends some time getting herself ready and doing hair and doing makeup and doing things, and there's good music going, and she's kind of jamming out in the bathroom, and then it cuts over and Ghost is just sitting on the edge of the bed.
She's looking at the note that Connor wrote that says, you can have a piece of it, as like, what can I use this for? Because he's going to forget this is about Halloween costumes. She just puts it back away.
I use it during every meal. That you like, I got a piece of it. Give me some cake, bitch.
At about 11:30 or so, Connor comes and knocks on your door. You ready to head out? And he's gussied up, got his full tux on, got his hair slicked back, as cleaned up as you've ever seen him.
Whose door did he knock on? You didn't tell me.
Oh, he would have knocked on Ghost's door, actually. Sorry.
All right, but I'm just gonna say up front, if you let this guy creep on me, I will haunt you for the rest of your days.
That's funny because your name's Ghost. Don't do that again. Not okay.
I'll haunt you.
He walks over and knocks on Liminal's door as well.
Hello.
Hey, we're
I had this like long dress on with long sleeves that looks pretty much just like my U-fiber jumpsuit that I usually wear, only it's a dress. Because I was trying to find something to cover it up.
Nice.
And I have my Team Dumpster Fire patch pinned
Oh.
to my dress.
He says, you look smashing, and you look like you.
I'm freaking dazzling.
That's valid. Listen, if he's... Like, all BS aside, if this guy's giving you a bad vibe, I can pull out of this meeting.
He was handing out wads of money to servers. He seems okay. Aside from the creepiness and the following. We should really talk about that. But he did apologize for it, so...
Yeah, with, like, funeral roses, right? Or funeral flowers, I should say.
Thank you.
I mean, that's what I think of lilies as.
But you know what, though? Your name's Ghost. Get it? No? I told you about that shit. Don't stop. He turns and walks away.
Ghost
And
follows.
you make your way over to the MGM Grand. As soon as you walk in, a couple of the casino employees come over and basically like meet you in the lobby and say, "Oh, the Count is expecting you," and escort you up into the VIP section to the same craps table that he's been sitting at this entire time. He waves his hand, and everybody gets up from the table besides the dealer, and there's an actual term for the person that's the dealer, and Narcosis. Everybody else gets up. Just please have a seat.
Ghost sits.
Is everybody else sitting? Is Narcosis sitting?
Narcosis is sitting. He's sitting.
Okay, I'll sit. If there's anybody like bodyguarding, I was gonna stay standing, but
Oh, yeah, no, there aren't any bodyguards or anything like that.
okay.
He says, I apologize for the rudeness, but I wanted to see exactly how your abilities worked firsthand.
I mean, there's like TV reports and news on them. You could just know.
Do you operate under the assumption that the news is not biased and incomplete?
I'm just saying, there's footage. Look at that. Okay, anyway.
Footage on cameras that remarkably capture very little of Ghost's appearance. Did you receive...
Her abilities.
I didn't?
Not well. Anyway, whatever, go ahead.
Please forgive my misstep. Did you receive the flowers I sent you?
Yeah.
I felt it was the least I could do.
The very least.
I fear we've gotten off on the wrong foot. Your employer was prudent enough to give me a call earlier and read me the riot act over it. So, again, I apologize.
Can we get started with the actual meeting and where this is going?
Certainly. Two things. One, I have a sensitive location that I feel might be targeted by individuals who would use the information there for unpleasant ends. I would like you to retrieve that information and move it to a safe location prior to their ability to do so, for which I am willing to compensate you handsomely.
Are you gonna stay this vague about it, or are we gonna get details at some point?
They usually Connors just gives us our assignments. We don't usually have these weird meetings with people.
You're right. And he told me that as well, but I also wanted to speak with Ghost about more philosophical matters. If you'd all wish to be present for that conversation, that would be fine.
It's entirely up to Ghost.
Liminal stays with me.
Very good. As I said, I've noticed you. And I do think that your skill sets, your team's skill sets, would be particularly of use in this assignment. You see, when I was a boy, I was kidnapped, held for ransom. My best friend, I was 8 years old. My best friend was the son of my father's driver. He was taken along with me, and his fate was not so lucky as mine, yeah. in response to the loss that my father's employee felt and my father felt, he began an organization. That organization has worked covertly for several years now, assisting people who did not have the same resources as my family, who find themselves in compromising positions or in some level of danger that requires an extra level of effort that perhaps the law cannot provide. This organization is known as Archangel, and there are a series of files that Archangel has been keeping over the years, pertinent to various cases, various activities of the past. These are kept in hard copy as part of a security measure. Someone who wishes to see harm done to my reputation has recently, I've found, wormed their way into my organization and managed to uncover the location of these documents. I would like you to get them out and ensure their safety before they are able to get their hands on them.
What kind of special information is in these documents?
Lists of former clients, lists of threats and potential threats, activities that our agency has engaged in over the years, identities of agents. Any number of which could be used as leverage against several innocent people for the mere crime of accepting assistance from my father.
And you don't already have anybody in your employ who can do this? Any of these people who are already working for your organization?
As I said, one of our associates was already corrupted. So the number of people I trust is few. To make matters worse, the people I believe who are targeting this information are loosely associated with the Terrigen.
Okay.
So I feel that there are very few who share my social circle and my philosophies that I can rely on. So in the absence of that, I'm left to mercenaries, and I don't trust Anna DeVries as far as I can throw her. That leaves you.
All right. Well, we at least have that much in common.
Not trusting Anna DeVries? Good. That shows me you're a good judge of character.
I just don't like her face.
You don't like anybody's face.
This is true.
You're a face hater.
Muffin nose, now face hater.
He says, I would like this to take place sooner rather than later. I've taken some measures to increase the security at the location, but that will only hold for so long in the event that they...
So does security know we're coming, or are we being that under the radar?
I will provide the necessary documentation to get you through security there.
Okay.
So it's not like a heist within a heist or anything like that. This is not a telenovela.
Also, I'd be a lot more suspicious of you if you weren't even telling your insecurity people that there were people coming in.
Yeah.
I understand that sometimes my actions can generate suspicion.
Thus far, yeah.
Trust is important in a relationship like this, so I wish to be as honest as possible. Ask me anything.
Why Ghost? That's the
Yeah,
question she keeps asking. Like but no one ever asked for her specifically. Why Ghost?
Because I know a gift when I see a gift. Yeah. You have a great deal of potential that I think is something that not only does your abilities lead you to appear as though you've shied away from, but you shy away from yourself. And I just wanted to, for my concerns for a fellow Nova, wanted to offer you a perspective that may be a little different from what you're used to.
Is that how you're able to remember me?
What, because I'm a Nova?
Yeah.
Could be.
Thought there were no secrets between us.
I'm not trying to be evasive. I know that there are many of our kind who, either through their own curiosity or because of some job they work, spend a lot of time testing their limits and figuring out where their powers are and examining every microscopic aspect of our state. I am not one of them. I simply enjoy being chosen, special, of the one race, whatever you wish to call it.
Yeah, you said you wanted to talk philosophy. Start talking.
How familiar are you with Terrace?
Not on the Christmas card list.
The core conceit of the Null Manifesto is that each of us is so far above and beyond humanity that we can no longer be shackled by its limitations. And what that means for each of us is different. The activities I would engage in and the places where I would place my moral boundaries, for example, would be very different than, say, narcosis or yourself. And that's fine. And that's the point, is that you are so much more than you were previously. And I guess I just had concerns in the footage I saw that maybe you somehow felt less.
I didn't become less when I erupted. It took me a little bit to figure out. I didn't change. Perceptions of me changed, but nothing about me really changed that much. But the interesting thing about perception of me is you start noticing it all goes the same direction. Most people don't notice me. And with rare exceptions, the ones who do remember me, usually it's not for very good reasons. Most people who wind up fascinated with my abilities usually wind up being dirtbags. So maybe kind of keep the fandom in check a little bit? Because when anybody gets that interested in somebody who's easily forgotten, I start asking why.
Also, you sound a lot like my college guidance counselor.
Connor kind of like nudges you with his knee under the table.
I thought Connor's left. I thought it was just the three of us.
No, he didn't leave.
Oh,
He hasn't
earlier
gone
when he
out.
said he wanted to talk to Ghost privately, I thought everybody else left. Okay, whatever.
Oh, yeah, no, he asked if I was okay. You didn't leave, so nobody left.
Oh.
Narcosis is still sitting there, too. I apologize if I wasn't clear about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, nobody left. I apologize. But yeah, so he just sort of reaches over and nudges you with his knee.
And I just like turn my legs away from him.
By the way, since he is sitting there, when Ghost said people who wind up that fascinated in my abilities usually wind up being dirtbags, it was a slight nod toward Connor. like that guy, like that dirtbag.
He says, nope. The count says, I have no way to display my altruism other than to display it and hope that my actions taken in good faith or my actions growing from good faith are taken in good faith. So, if I overstepped a boundary, I apologize. I just think someone of your abilities could do anything, and shouldn't limit yourself to accepting what you feel has been dealt to you. Yeah?
He wants you to do drugs. Like
I
that
limit,
drug.
I limit myself to what I want to do. Thanks.
Very good. So do I. So, that out of the way, what can I do to make this right? I feel that there's still tension.
That's just Ghost.
There's gonna be tension until the job's over and the money is on our account and I don't have to deal with this anymore. Like Liminal said, that's Ghost.
That's fair. Well, in that case, I'll send $1 million down payment, $1 million upon completion of the task. Yes, does that sound fair? Connor chokes on his drink a little bit and says, "Normally we don't talk about rates in front of the employees, but sure."
I just squint at him.
Sounds
What
great.
he is he likes not giving us a fair cut. Thanks though.
You're a salaried employee.
You're a dirtbag.
Also, we haven't gotten a bonus yet.
Yeah, where's my freaking Christmas bonus, con man?
Listen,
It's August.
I'm an atheist. Counters
And I'm
eyes and says,
agnostic. Where's my freaking Christmas bonus?
Counters eyes and says, "Is this a conversation? Should I excuse myself?"
Probably.
Well, you take the job, yes? Connor says, "Yes." Good. And he gets up and walks away, and Narcosis winks at you as she takes off as well, leaving you at the table. Connor says, "Okay, what, you want a cut? Is that what you're saying? Like now we're gonna have this conversation about pay raises?"
Well, I didn't know they were paying you $2 million a job.
Oh, that's not like Lightning Bug does not pay us $2 million. That's not an average rate.
Travis, what are our salaries?
Do you have any edges that grant you extra money above and beyond?
I've
Any,
got
like,
Wealth
additional-
1.
Wealth 1?
I figured that was
so-
family money since I'm like a suburbia kid.
Right, yeah. So probably starting salary is, we'll say, $80,000 a year.
Okay.
The very, very, very bottom of lower middle class, basically.
So he's making, you know, $800,000 more than both of our yearly salaries on this one job.
That's totally America.
Making 1.8 million more because it's 2 million total. Yeah, that's
Yep.
great.
He says, all right, look, I'll tell you what, this is a much bigger job than what we're used to, so I will give you all a bonus of it. Yeah?
What bonus?
I'll give you a 1% bonus.
Con man.
What was that?
So it's the whole group can have 20%.
20% each? Sweet.
No, the math doesn't work out very good.
Yeah, that actually works out great. We each get 20% of $2 million. There are 5 of us. I love this.
I'll give you each 10%.
Done.
Yeah, I'll take it.
And the rest will go into getting you some new uniforms and maybe a better patch.
If you would make my patch out of U-fiber, then it would be fine.
U-fiber, I never thought of that.
How did you
never
never
thought-
think of that?
I didn't think about it. I think you're the only one that wears U-fiber.
Yeah, but everybody else could wear it.
Well, I tell you what, I'll throw in U-fiber uniforms for everybody since
Yes.
we're just going to spend up all the corporate money.
Excellent. All right, cool. So we're gonna do this job.
All right. He stands up and starts to walk out, and then he says, you know, I really didn't know about him sending people to stalk you.
I appreciate that.
I mean, obviously, you were in a weed-induced haze.
Which is where I spend most of my free time. So, I'm just doing my best here to run a business and get out from under Anna's thumb.
Not the worst thing. But just so you know, Connor's during that whole meeting, the little buffalo sauce.
Oh, shit. Really? Like, you couldn't have told me this, like, before we were talking with the royalty?
I didn't notice. I'm sorry.
His-
Also, technically not royalty.
I'm not sorry.
Well, I
Like,
mean, is an account...
nobility.
Okay, well, right. I'm from Wisconsin. He pulls out his phone. We just got a secure communication with the details of the job.
Cool.
Looks like you're going to be going to Sweden.
Ooh. We can go shopping again! Ghost! I've never been to Sweden.
Neither have I.
What's special in Sweden? What's a cool Swedish thing? Fish? There's fish. I know that
Chocolate
much.
watches. No, that's Switzerland.
Sweden.
I don't know.
Meatballs! We could go visit IKEA!
We have IKEAs here.
We could go to the homeland IKEA.
Where they grow all the...
What's the big deal?
I don't know. I just like IKEA.
Fine, we'll get some freaking meatballs.
Yes.
Meatballs and IKEA. And with that, you head out and start packing your things up and prepare for your trip back to Chicago to home office to meet up with the other half of the team. From there, you will go to Sweden to the Archangel Archives.
They could just call it the archives. That would make sense.
You could call it the
They
Archives.
don't have to call it the Archangel Archives.
It's not the Archangel Archives. It's the Archives of Archangel. The Archangel Archive.
So the archives. The
The-
archives. Done.
The Quantum Archives.
Why is everything quantum? Is there a quantum IKEA?
Yes, there's a Quantum IKEA. Absolutely. It's now canon. So on that note, that's where I think we will wrap up for this week.
Cool.
So since
We're gonna get the others caught up at another point.
Yeah, so, yep, next session, we'll be back here next week. Dixie will not, because she'll be in
I'll be at Dragon Con.
DragonCon, yeah. And I know you've got plans, Ashley, normally on Thursdays anyway, so I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of them. I know you got to get back to it. Next week we will be here with Dumpster Fire and Fwafwa to see what they've been doing while you've been off running around with old money European nobles and getting creeped on by strange novas. You're muted.
You're muted.
What's that?
Count what's his face.
Count what's his face. Yeah. All right. So before we part ways, we jumped right in and didn't actually do any introductions. So when we started today, I would assume people know who everyone is, but let's go ahead and start with Ghost. Go ahead and tell us who you are, what you do, your pronouns, and where we can find your stuff.
Hi, I'm Ashley May, she, her. I'm a writer. I've done some work for Onyx Path. I'm also a writer over on the Dungeon Masters Guild, and you can find me on Twitter at Ashley May Writes.
Excellent. And also here on this channel on Tuesdays for Paws and Claws.
Yes, over there I play Priscilla, and she is a wonderfully smug and stuck-up artisan, and you should watch it.
I didn't get to watch much last night, but I watched a little bit and it was really fun.
It is a riot. It is a hoot.
We got eaten by a slime.
Oh no, I missed that part.
They did. They got
I just
attacked
love
by
that
a
there are
jello
twins
mold.
named Bagel and Baguette. And then I love the two cats that are there, the one cat and there's a greyhound. It was great. It was just really fun, the bits that I was watching.
Our cat is a wonderful scumbag. You really need to be watching Paws and Claws if you're not already watching it. It's right here on the Onyx Path channel on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, that it is. And definitely make sure that you've subscribed to the channel and followed us and hit your notification bell so you know when we go live. That'll help with that too. And then Dixie, why don't you tell us who you are, what you do, your pronouns, in case there's one person here that doesn't know who you are and
I don't
your...
know. Hi, I'm Dixie Cochran. I'm one of the in-house developers for Onyx Path Publishing. I do a lot of the editing, and I'm also one of the 3 hosts of the Onyx Pathcast. My pronouns are she, her, and I play in this game, and hopefully we'll play in other games at some point soon because I'm really enjoying everything. And I don't get to play very often, as everyone that listens to the podcast knows. So being able to play from my house has been super cool. So yeah, that's who I am. You can find me online at Dixie Cyanide most places.
Excellent. And we are looking toward more show creation to help grow the channel. So there will be more opportunities, Dixie. I'm looking into my crystal ball, my crystal snowball, and I'm seeing more opportunities for games in the future.
Yeah, totally. I'm definitely looking forward to playing some other properties because I obviously want to do I love Scion and I love Trinity and I love Pugmire and Monarchies and all those. I love Scarred Lands. So I'm anything. I'll do anything. I'm just here for it. I love Chronicles, love World of Darkness. Anything. Exalted, all of it.
And you'll be seeing all that stuff and more on this channel soon as we build our schedule out. You may or may not have noticed at the beginning of the show, we had a little in-character, in-world video that was created by our Scion Athens, Ohio team. And that I'm going to upload up to the channel, and it'll probably be on the YouTube as well, coming up shortly. But make sure you're tuning in for that on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. And we've got the whole schedule posted on here whenever the channel's offline. And we usually post it, I think, up at the Onyx Path Facebook page, too, so you can keep up on what we've got going. There's new shows going to be rolling out over the next several weeks, and we've got programming, I think 6 days a week right now we've got programming on the channel. So thank you all for that. Awesome. It is awesome. In case you were wondering what it is we've been playing, we are playing Trinity Continuum Aberrant. The Trinity Continuum core book as well as Aeon are currently on backer kit, I do believe. And Aberrant should be soon, if I'm not mistaken. So keep an eye peeled for that. Maybe even before we wrap up this run that we're doing for Collateral Damage. So just a reminder, we will be here same time next week. And it will be myself, Dumpster Fire, and Fwafwa. And then the following week, we bring the whole band back together, and we're going to go on a raid to the Archangel Archives.
Episode.
So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being so awesome. And yes, Neil, it was actually just a weird Scion game the whole time.
I'm not gonna lie. I want to address that real quick before we turn this off. And that is that you started talking about the like smell thing. You're like, oh, there's a weird smell. It's a weird smell. And one of the things in Scion is that that's a way that you can know like Scions of the gods or certain gods are around because all the pantheons have a distinct scent.
Right.
I got very confused for a minute. I was like, in my brain, I was like, is it olives? Is it a theoi? What do I smell? And then I'm like, wait, Dixie, that's not what you're playing right now. You're not playing this.
Meanwhile, over in Pugwire, we've got smell magic as a spell. So I'm like,
Oh my god, I really need to make a gritty game about newscasters called Pugwire.
No, I'm telling you, this Pugwire should be the futuristic cyberpunk.
No,
Pugmire.
that's called Cyberpunk 3030, and Eddie will make it one day, and I have been trying to pitch that for years.
yes.
It's called Cyberpunk 3030. I'm gonna make him make it.
Well, I will.
Part of this conversation, I support you fully in this argument.
I support you as well. I think everybody should tweet at Pugsteady that they want Cyberpunk 3030.
And that is Pugsteady with steady spelled Steddy, because that's Eddie's handle. So it's Pug, and then his name.
Yeah. Tweet it, blow it up. Hashtag Cyberpunk 3030. But on that.
Yes, the Onyx path. Yes, the Pugwire in the future of all.
But on that note, I should let these ladies get back to their night. I should get back to my night. I should let you all fine folk get back to your nights. But please do make sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff. Tell your friends. Come back to see us again next week. Check out the rest of the shows on the channel. And as Jerry Springer always says, be good to yourselves and each other. Awkward wave.
Awkward waves.
I refuse.
Where'd it go? There it went.